everybody. Welcome back to the Second Street Marvel and the Morning Movie Chat. I hope you're all having a very good day today. I'm going to see if this thing is going to actually work this time. I don't know. Apparently, I just did a live stream talking for, I don't know, well over an hour. And, um, and apparently it didn't come up and didn't alert anybody or anything like that. I was sat here. I'm here in Washington at my sister's house hanging out, and I was yeah. I did this whole chat already for about an hour earlier, and apparently it didn't work. So apparently, there's just some things that don't work quite out work out quite so well here on with this. This streaming app, this Streamlabs app. So anyway, I hope you're all doing good today. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, I already did this stream, and I was wondering, I'm like, hey man, nobody's here. I should have just ended it at the beginning of the hour where I was talking here. But thank you all so much for being here. Again, I am your host Trinity. Thank you for. Let's see, we got Dog School here. What is up? How are you doing? Discovery Bay, Marquise Roberts, Polar 702 Bear. Greetings. How are you all doing? Dog School says playing Battlefront 2. Awesome. That is absolutely great. I haven't played Battlefront 2 in quite a while, but yeah, because and I actually just got what was it, the new one, Jedi Fallen Order. I still haven't got a chance to play that a whole lot yet. But yeah, I hope you're all having a good day. Wookiee Supremacy says, yeah, guys, I hope you're all having a good day. I'm here in Washington. I'm in Arlington, as a matter of fact, at my sister's house. And like I said, I already did this show flapping my gums for a whole hour, and you guys didn't get to see any of it because for whatever reasons, the Streamlabs apps, sometimes it acts a little bit. It's not the best. It's not the best. I'll put it that way. But it is nice and convenient because it allows somebody like me who is not monetized to be able to do these live streams here on my mobile phone, where I can't just do it through the YouTube app, which is just fine because I don't know. I don't even like just straight live streaming through through the YouTube channel, even on my computer in the first place. But how are you all doing today? Let's see. Kobe, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all having a very good day. I hope you all had a very good Christmas. Like I said, I spent Christmas Eve traveling here to Washington to spend some time with my sister and her family at their new house. I haven't been here before. They just moved in here. I want to say maybe over the past year that they moved here into this new place. And yeah, it's been really nice. But how was your guys' Christmas? How was your guys' Christmas this year? I can tell you, mine was good. I'm getting older, so it's not all about getting a bunch of gifts and stuff like that. It's about getting together with family. You know what I mean? Spending time with our loved ones, sitting around, watching movies, playing games, eating dinner, eating lunch, eating all the leftovers and things like that. Captain Pennsylvania, thank you so much for being here. So yeah, like I said, guys, I already did this 1 hour live stream talking. I was here walking down the road, so maybe I'll go ahead and take a walk down this road so you guys can kind of see where I'm at and just this beautiful country in which I'm at. But as beautiful as it is out here, I live in California. I'm not from California, but I live there. And for me, I just like the weather there. Here where my sister lives at, it's always rainy, it's always cold, but they do get the different types of weather out here. So it is nice in that sense that they get all these different things, different seasons, I guess, if you will, here. Um, Let's see. Captain Pennsylvania says, "I met Peter David Christmas Eve. That's pretty sweet, dude. That's pretty sweet. I'm guessing. I'm like, did you? I'm guessing you probably just ran into him somewhere out in public. That's pretty cool. Discovery Bay says the community board and mobile live open on sub count. The community board and mobile live open on sub count. I'm not sure what you mean there, man. I'm not sure what you mean there. The community board and mobile live open on sub count. Huh. That's odd. U.S. Dutch Kitty, well, morning for me. Good afternoon to you. I hope you're having a good day. But yeah, I'm here. Like I said, I'm here in Seattle. And like I was saying, I did Social Introvert TV. Thank you so much for being here. I did this live stream earlier where I was here walking down the street, and I was sitting here like, man, why is nobody here in my chat, man? Like, I know I got more engaged viewers than that, and I should have just stopped the app when I see nobody was coming on or anything, and talking about what I was talking about. Um, because like as I could see, I went live here, and like within a handful of seconds, all of you guys were already here. So I should have known you guys weren't going to let me down and were going to be here for me. You know what I'm saying? But so yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and get on what I was going to talk about today. But let me know down in the comments, how was your guys' Christmas? Did you guys get all the gifts that you wanted? Did you get to spend the time with your family and loved ones that you wanted to? Um, because like I said, that's ultimately what it's about, is getting together with our family and friends and having a good time, doing a gift exchange and just enjoying good times, maybe have a couple of drinks or whatnot. um, Discovery Base says you can stream live on your phone at 1K subs regardless of monetization. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, and I'm getting close. I'm getting close to those 1,000 subscribers. And the one thing I wanted to say about that, I was gonna do a Twitter thing about it last night because I noticed people on Twitter last night talking about it. I was gonna be like, guys, there's a YouTube purge and I lost subscribers. Who cares, man? It was so funny because yeah, YouTube does these purges regularly, where you might lose some subscribers and stuff. But I just think it's funny, and I see people constantly out there like, I lost subscribers, like, oh. I don't know. That's just funny. I mean, obviously, if we're on a channel, we got a channel, we care about those. We care about having subscribers and stuff like that. Vlad Riot, thank you so much for being here. Um, US Dutch Kitty says, Dad and I had a Doctor Who Christmas special marathon on Christmas Eve. Awesome. That sounds fun. I've never really watched Doctor Who. I know a lot of people out there really like the show. I mean, I know I seen, like when I was a kid, I remember seeing some of the episodes of the show and everything, but I've never really, I can't say I've never really been a fan because I've never really watched it to be a fan or not. But that's awesome, and that's what it's about. Get together, have a movie marathon, a TV marathon, a TV show marathon. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I spent some time here with my family, and we were just hanging out, playing games. I was reading comic books and just having fun. My nephew, he got a drum set, an electronic drum set for Christmas. So I went and started banging on that in the living room, and that was fun. I do play drums. I'm not a drummer, but by any means, but I do play, and I've got a set of drums at the house that I need to break out and set up so I can just I don't know, just start having fun with it again. Because I like playing the drums. It's I don't know, it's a good workout and it's just fun to do. And again, I'm sorry if I can't see all your chats. I mean, there is some glare here on my screen, and uh, so I may not be able to respond to everything, but I'm going to do my best to. But yeah, one of the things I was talking about earlier, here when I actually did the show when nobody was here, when I thought this thing was streaming, is Rise of Skywalker is out. I'm glad the movie's out. We're finally through all of this, through this whole journey with this Disney Star Wars thing. And let me know. I know most of you we've talked about this before, and you guys have probably already let me know, like, what did you guys think about the Rise of Skywalker? What are your feelings on it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What do you think about Disney and Disney Star Wars? Like for me in particular, um, I like the movie. um, it certainly has its faults. There's things that I would like to see improved about it. But for me, I think largely one of those things is that this movie tries to do too much. And the other day on Sunday, I was over on uh, I was over on Mad Max's channel, and I understand, not everybody likes Mad Max, and he's not for everybody, and that's okay. Not everybody is, but we were over there the other day, and I was on there along with Preston Poulter from Pocket Jacks Comics was on for a little while, Black Angus Reviews, and even Echo Base Network, and we were talking about the Rise of Skywalker, and there was something that I realized. Or something that I realized. I was like, man, they're right here. The guys from Echo Base Network were talking about the Rise of Skywalker, and something, I was like, I get what they're saying here. Totally, they totally nailed something. Hit the nail on the head with this, with basically this Disney Star Wars stuff as compared to the old movies, and that is that, um, and I think, and they were so right, because I was like, man, something I couldn't quite put my finger on is when it comes to Star Wars, these movies were never like these big grandiose type of films that have to do all these kinds of things. And Rise of Skywalker is that. I mean, it's crammed with so much. It moves at such a breakneck pace that it's almost exhausting. It's almost exhausting to watch. Kind of like when Avengers Endgame came out, like it's this nearly 3 hour long movie, and it's just like this big spectacle, and that's okay, but largely that's not what Star Wars is. Star Wars has never been like these big, great, big. I mean, they've been always kind of been blockbusters, I guess you could say, but they've never been these movies that are like this large scale thing, and that's kind of what this movie done is. It's got like ever since Disney kind of took it over, and I get it. They're big, they're a corporation. They're trying to make money and make these big, good, entertaining movies. But it's like they try to do too much. It tries to be too big, and I think that in itself kind of becomes a problem. Where Star Wars, I never really felt that they were really big and grand in scale. They were just fun, entertaining movies. Um, following the story of Luke Skywalker and his adventures going through space and becoming a Jedi. And now it's like now they have to be this big spectacle out there in the world for people to enjoy. And that's not what it is. You know what I mean? It's like and I think that's where like the MCU and Marvel Studios has found a lot of success in being that where you get an Avengers film that it's a big event film. They get the big cast together. They have all the Avengers there, and it's somewhat of a bigger deal like that. And that's not Star Wars. Star Wars has always just been, just kind of a smaller, scaled back story. And so the other day when Echo Base Network said that, and I can't exactly remember how they put it, but I got it. You know what I mean? And it made so much sense to me that is, like I said, I'm not a hate, I'm not a I'm not a hater of the sequel trilogy or anything like that, but that is, it does have its faults, and that's one of the things I realize is like, I think they're right there in that fact that these these movies are just trying to make them too large scale. It's just too much, and it doesn't have to be that. We've been okay with what everything has been so far. There's no reason to take and try to push these things over the top and make them bigger than they are, make them more grand than they are. You go back and you watch A New Hope, and while it's a great movie, really any of the original trilogy, they're all great movies, but they're not anything that's so large scale, where they're trying to do more than they need to. And I think that's what we've seen a lot out of the Disney Star Wars movies, is that they are being bigger scale and things like that when they don't need to. Um, Sorry about that loud noise, guys. Uh, we can. We can appreciate smaller scale movies. It doesn't have to be a big spectacle, and I think that's one of the things that kind of gets lost. Oh, here's another loud one. That's one of the things that kind of gets lost when you get into that big corporate machine like a Disney, where they're wanting to make movies. It's all it's just all big scale, and don't have to be. I think most of us are okay with these smaller scale movies. I mean, like I said, that's where Marvel Studios has found that balance, where they've got where they go out and they'll do like an Iron Man, they'll do a Captain America, they'll do a Thor, and they're not bigger, larger than life movies. And then we get to like these Star Wars films, they're all like big event films, and they don't have to be. And I do think, like I said, you'd have to go back and watch that video that we did, that stream we did with Mad Max and those guys, because the guys from Echo Base Network really shed some light on that very great point. In that I was like, yeah, that's true, man. Like, I don't know. It's just larger than it needs to be. It's okay for it to be a smaller, more grounded story. You don't have to go to 10 different planets. You don't have to show us, a whole, fleet of, thousands and thousands of star destroyers. And a matter of fact, what happened to the dreadnoughts, right? But they don't have to be that. It's okay to just to just tell us a smaller story, you know. And that's one of the things I think they lost focus on, even in the Force Awakens, you know, because we get introduced to some characters and we don't really get to know them. um, we don't really get invested in who these characters are and why we should care about these characters. And that was really a huge downfall of The Last Jedi. And we didn't really get any kind of character development with these characters. There was no character arc. It was just like a character flatline. And you know, and then that's one of the things I liked about Rise of Skywalker is we come back and we get reintroduced to these characters and we get some character development there throughout the course of the movie. We start to see them interacting with each other. We start to see their personality grow a little bit. And like I said, man, I don't know, when I was on that stream and the Echo Base Network said that, it really made a lot of sense. You know, it kind of brought some things into focus for me, as far as that's concerned. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let me know what you guys think about that, and we'll get back here in the chats and see what you guys have to say here. Ooh, Perry Comics is here. What's up, my brother? Vlad Riot. I seen. Let's see who else joined. Social Introvert. I seen you step in here. Pope Cerebus the first. I seen Fatal J stepped in here as well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Tommy, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all having a good day. Um, yeah, and if you guys missed it, like I said, I started this show. I did this stream. I already flapped my gums for an hour as I was here walking down the road, and for whatever reason, the Streamlabs app it wasn't working the best, and it obviously didn't let me go live or anything. And so yeah, it kind of affected some of that stuff. But let me go ahead and scroll here through the stream and see. Dang it, come on, man. See what you guys are saying here. Um, let's see. We've got okay. Uh, you saw Captain Pennsylvania. You saw Peter David at a Shell gas station. That's crazy. That's cool, man. You know, and that's one of those things like you know, like when you see somebody like that, you know, if even you know, because you're not expecting that. You know, you don't have your comics and a marker or anything with you to have him. You know, hey, can you sign this? But that's one of those settings where you know you see a Peter David and you're like, you know, you're like, yeah, you know, you may say hi and say, hey man, I love your work, and that's about it, you know, because that's for me that's one of those kind of things where that's not the setting, you know what I mean? But that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Ran into Peter David at a gas station. That's awesome. And in case you guys don't know, man, that's Peter David. He's writing he wrote Symbiote Spider-Man, a little mini series here, and I'm not sure what else he's written because I'm not super familiar with him, but I know that he wrote Symbiote Spider-Man that came out last year, a nice little 6 issue, no, I think it was 5 issue mini series on Marvel Comics, and now he's writing Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality. It's basically a follow-up to that, and I'm telling you, issue number 1 of that just came out a couple of weeks ago, and it is fire. Like I read that first issue, and like man, I was excited to read it. The situations and things that happen in it were great. Like when I read Symbiote Spider-Man, I was like, oh, this is pretty good. This issue number 1 of Symbiote Spider-Man Alien Reality. Wow. I was like, holy yeah, you know, I'm ready to read more. Um, let's see. What else we got here? Kobe says, I love this week, Christmas Day to New Year's Day. Yeah, man. Especially, and if you guys don't know, Kobe, you guys should definitely go follow his channel. He's a great young man. You go watch some of his movie reviews. I'm telling you, that kid Kobe, he's gonna be somebody here in the movie reviewing community very soon. A very big voice because I'm not sure his age. It's really unimportant, but you can see he's a young man, probably in his teens, and dude, he knows his shit. He breaks down his movies. He talks about them. You can tell he's really got a very good movie IQ, if you will. Very good and well spoken young man. Go check out his channel. Vlad Rice says, Second Street Marvel, did you have a good Christmas? I did. I did. I didn't really get like a whole lot of gifts or anything. And matter of fact, the gifts that I'm going to get from my wife, I'm not sure what they are because she asked me what I wanted. And, you know, like, but, you know, as we get older, you know, it's less about getting gifts and, you know, it's just more about spending time with family. But yeah, it was really good. Like I said, we're here in Arlington, Washington. I don't know, maybe about an hour north of Seattle, with my family. And it's, in case you guys can't see, man, it's beautiful out here. It's really nice, and it's starting to warm up finally, so I can take this off. At least I'm here in the sun anyway. I'm probably gonna get back here in the shadows where the sun's not shining. and where's the sun's not shining? Comments. But yeah, man, it's nice out here. Going for a walk down the road here. But yeah, man, it was nice. You know, sat here with my family and just had a great time. Marquise Roberts says, I'm not a Doctor Who fan, but I bought my baby's mother a season of it back in 2015 for Mother's Day. Nice, nice. Um, let's see. Discovery Based Comics says, I think I can officially call myself a Barbie Playhouse assembler. That's funny. Nice. Captain Pennsylvania says, uh, mine was pretty sweet. Saw my dad. Awesome, awesome. You know, and that's really what it's all about. You know, getting out there, being with our loved ones, and seeing them and spending time with them. As you know, if you don't have family close to you. Like I don't, like where I live at, like my wife's family is close, but like I said, my sister lives up here in Washington. I live in Southern California, so we're not always close together, and so we don't always get to see each other very often. So it's always nice to do that, man. Always nice to do that. Vlad Riot says, haven't seen it and never will, and that's cool, man. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I largely, you know, I don't care how other people feel about the movie. In those cases, you know, like if you're somebody out there, you don't want to see the movie and you hate what Disney has done with Star Wars. Cool, man. That's cool. I'm not one of those people who's gonna be out there and say you have to go see this, and you know, I might say that sometimes just because it's a movie that I'm excited and I like watching, but it's certainly by no means like you have to go watch it. Otherwise, you're not a fan. You're not a fan if you don't go watch this movie. Because to me, that's just ridiculous. You know, I was talking about that the other day too, where people get ridiculous, and you know, even on that same stream with Max, where I was talking about, I get tired of this whole thing where people um, uh, are are basically judging other people's levels of fandom, and I think that's where a lot of disconnect comes at with people, and a lot of people start to get upset at each other. Is like, oh, you like you like this sequel trilogy. You're not a real Star Wars fan. You know, you're just a casual fan, and like that's absolutely ridiculous. We're not here to say what other people's level of fandom is. You know, just because somebody likes the sequel trilogy doesn't mean they're not they're not a real Star Wars fan or not a diehard Star Wars fan or anything like that. Just because somebody don't like what they did with Luke Skywalker's character in The Last Jedi or even in The Rise of Skywalker doesn't make you not a fan. You know, it's not up to us to decide other people's level of fandom. But yeah, I mean that's cool. If you don't want to see it, don't see it, man. Especially at the theater because it costs far too much money to go to a movie theater to spend money on something that you don't like, that you don't want to see. So I can't blame you for that. I can't blame you for that. Good on you. Good on you. Um, Wookiee Supremacy says, I want a Rise of Skywalker Palpatine figure. Ooh, yeah, you talking like where he's on that little crane and everything? He's saying, yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Um, Wookiee Supremacy says, I never got that titty monster playset from The Last Jedi. Did they have one? That's funny. Um, Marquise Roberts says, I exited the Black Anger stream when started talking about female with penises. Oh yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine that Black Angus is doing that. He's yeah, Black Angus is definitely a very out there guy. I'm guessing you're talking about, maybe was that the one he did yesterday? I was on there for a little while, and then just spending time with some family. But yeah, Black Angus, he's certainly not for everybody. He's a very unique man. Social Introvert TV says, that's how Endgame was for me. Still kind of like it, but I wish there was more explored with it. Um, yeah, yeah. Again, it was one of those big kind of event movies, and I like the movie, but it does a lot. It does a lot within the confines of that movie. But the thing that it does good, where like a Rise of Skywalker doesn't didn't is it slows down in parts. It lets you kind of take in what's going on throughout the course of the movie. Where Rise of Skywalker, it just goes, it starts and it goes and goes and goes and goes and it doesn't slow down. And and I think there's reasons for that. Some of them are not great reasons, but yeah. Oh dang, what's going on here? Here we go. So yeah, and you can see I'm here back at my sister's house, trying to be quiet because they're watching a movie, and I'm gonna head back outside now. But yeah, I get that. That's that's how in game still kind of like a bit. Wish there was more explore. Yeah, they could have easily done. They could have easily done more in that amount of time. Um, Wookiee supremacy says females don't have penises. No, they don't. They do not. Discovery Base says they were never going to make everyone happy. Some percentage of the viewers were going to hate any version. Yeah, and that's absolutely true. There's definitely some people out there who were never going to be satisfied with what Disney was going to do with what they were going to do with this movie, and that's just because some people, like I said, and I can't even say obviously they're fans is everybody has their right to feel how they want about it. To me, the one thing I've said largely is, I don't talk about what I don't like on this channel. Not that much. I might talk about it a time or two here or there, but a lot of times, right now we're seeing with this whole fan thing is there's a whole bunch of people out there that say they like this thing, but then they have nothing good to say about it, and that's why I've largely kind of tuned out from the Star Wars community in that sense. Is you guys know I follow like a lot of the people with the fandom menace and stuff like that. Watch some of the channels here on YouTube, interact with some of them. I just when it comes to like the Star Wars content, where like, oh, I used to like Star Wars, but I don't like it now. I don't have time to watch any of your I don't like Star Wars anymore videos. Like, I watched one of them. I get it. I get it. Okay, that's fine. And you could easily say the same thing about me and my channel, about where, oh, we get it. You like some stuff, and you're gonna talk about it and talk about it more. So hey, but we're all big kids here. We're all big kids. I get it. Um, but yeah, they were never gonna make everybody happy with this, and nor should they ever try to. You know what I mean? Even just like as a YouTube content creator, you can't do that, and you should never aim to please everybody, because you can't. You're gonna please nobody, and at some point you're probably going to get discouraged in your own rights in trying to do something like that in the first place. Um, let's see. Marquise Roberts says they aren't supposed to, Wookie, but Angus has a thing for them. Oh, yes, he does. He certainly does. He says, Wookie supremacies. Yeah, well, he's kind of. Yeah, he is. He is kind of. Um, Vlad Riot says, go to Thailand and say that again. Oh, man. Oh, you guys are killing me. Um, let's see. Pope Cerberus says, Wookie, there is no time for logic right now, right? Um, Let's see. Captain Pennsylvania says, Marquise, I don't post at all on YouTube, but my Instagram um, is is the 12ness. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, Captain Pennsylvania. I think I actually started following you on Twitter as well. Um, I must have missed something there. Let's see. Tommy says, had this up on computer, but it never started. Weird. Huh? That's yeah, that is weird. Fatal J is here. What's up, my dude? Vlad Riot says I would wanted to see if the Dreadnought fleet, if anything, not another Star Destroyer fleet. Yeah, right. Very good point. Very good point. Okay. All right. It looks like I'm caught up with the chat, but yeah, I don't know. And speaking of the Rise of Skywalker, it's something else I wanted to get into here. Is we've seen, like I said, there's a whole lot of people out there that do like what the sequel trilogy, don't like the sequel trilogy and things like that. But we can see everybody's always got their own little narrative they want to push. And one of the things I've been seeing a lot of people talking about here lately is that the Rise of Skywalker is not is a box office failure, and guys, it's just not having the success that movies did before. Um, that a lot of the movies did before, and and I get that, but that doesn't mean that it's a failure. Okay, just because it's not making the kind of money that we would expect it to, doesn't mean that it's a failure. It just means that it's not having the success that we would expect it to have, being here on that we would expect out of a Star Wars movie. And but naturally everybody's going to push that out there as like as this narrative of it's a failure. And just because it's not making that kind of money doesn't mean that it's a failure. It just means it's not being successful. They're still making money. This movie could have its sustainability. It could do well over the next couple of weeks. We don't know. There's so many factors, especially at this time of year when a movie releases, that go into these kinds of things. And yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Is there's a whole lot of factors. It's obviously Christmas time and things like that, and that's by no means any kind of excuse, because we can see that they've had success releasing their movies on this time. I'm gonna type a message here. Um, I'm not sure. Somebody leave a comment down here because I'm not sure if this thing disconnected on me again. uh, let me see here. Uh, the chat seems to be fro oh, see, seems to be frozen. Dang it, come on. Is it just me, or are you guys just not chatting now all of a sudden? Let's see. Okay, yeah, great. I'm guessing this thing probably ended my session once again. I'm gonna see if I can start and stop and restart this thing, because it looks like it's maybe disconnected from you guys, or maybe it's just disconnected from the chat. So I'll be right back in just a second, guys. Uh, did this thing come back up yet? Okay, yeah, see, it's not working for me. All right, we're gonna end this thing, and we'll be right back. There we go. There we go. Did this thing come back up on yet? Did this thing come back yet? Um, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here, guys. For some reason, this app doesn't know. It always seems to freeze and stuff like that. Let's see. Where did we freeze up at? Um, I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why. Here on the Streamlabs app, it's not perfect. Um, but oh man, uh, let's see. Dang it. Seeing this thing is it's just janky, man. Um, where did we go? Where were we on the chats here, guys? I hope you're all doing well. Again, thank you. Welcome back. Thank you for your patience. Um, let's see. Wookiee Supremacy says it wasn't as bad as the Last Jedi. No, it wasn't. It wasn't as bad as the Last Jedi. Again, I'm not a Last Jedi hater. It's just it's not a great film. Definitely not a great Star Wars film. Um, let's see. Vlad Rice says the ambulance says Babu Babu, the victim. What the F? I might have missed something there. Kyle McKay says, did anyone get Marvel incoming? Oh, Marvel incoming, the secret variant. No, I didn't. As a matter of fact, I didn't even get incoming, and that was something else I was going to talk about here in a minute. Pope Cerebra says hard pass on incoming. Um, yeah, I'm not even sure what that event is going to be about. It looks like it's going to be a mini event. I think largely I'm pretty much done with Marvel events as far as that's concerned, because really they've failed in a lot of ways on all their events lately. It seems like. I think the one that I just read recently that was actually pretty decent was Annihilation Scourge. I thought that one was actually pretty good. Let's see. Um, Captain Pennsylvania says, "Got to head to work later." All right, take it easy, Captain Pennsylvania, take it easy, Cap. Aggressively relaxing says, "Am I the only person who is a real Star Wars fan?" I'm sure you are, man. You probably are. As the leader of the grandfather, the godfather, if you will, of the Phantom Menace. That's funny. Tommy says, Second Street Marvel, one-time direct donation. Oh yeah, yeah. Thank you, Tommy. Sorry, it doesn't. It shows up a little bit different here on this app as opposed to what it does on my computer. So, let's see. Social Introvert TV says, that's how I was getting treated. I was, I was, I was off of it. The moment the leaks were confirmed, but then a bunch of name calling started because I didn't see it. Shaking my head. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like if you don't want to see a movie, don't go see the movie. If you don't like it, don't like it. But don't do this thing where you're telling people what they have to do. Like I was saying, judging judging other people's level of fandom is absolutely ridiculous, and that's something, if you guys follow me on Twitter, I was talking about the other day. Like, if you're one of those people out there policing fandoms, you're a weirdo, bro. Just give it up. It's not up to you to dictate what somebody's fandom is, how big of a fan somebody is uh, out there. Like, and that's one of the things, I hate people, out there when they say that kind of stuff, like, oh, you like this, you're not a real fan. Like, what's that even mean? Just because I like something doesn't make me not a fan. Just because you're more passionate about something doesn't make you a bigger fan than me. We're both fans of the same thing. Can we just accept that and move on? um, let's see. Where else we had here? Lonely Banter says, I am here. Thank you for being here, LB. I hope you're having a very good day. The Lonely Banter says, MTV Cribs, Second Street Marvel Edition. Yeah. Yeah, I was just at my sister's house, man, and they got this nice new house, man. They've been there for, I think, about a year now, and they got a nice big house. And it's kind of funny because me and my sister are a tale of it just goes to prove, just how differently people are in the way that we are in our lives. Where she has this big, nice house and has all these nice things, and that's not how we grew up. We grew up in a little double wide trailer, and eventually we got my parents got a modular home built on top of the basement that our double wide used to be on after some crazy stuff happened. But yeah, it's so funny because she has this big nice house, and I'm walking into it, I'm like, man, Chris, this is a big ass house. This is too nice of a house. This is like, I'm like, this is too nice. Like, I'm okay with living in a trailer. You know what I mean? You give me a trailer and give me a spot of land, I'm good. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be anything big, anything fancy. Like, it's just a house where I keep my possessions and where I sleep at. It doesn't have to be anything big and fancy. And then I go into my sister's house. I'm like, damn, this is nice. Like, and along with that comes like different stresses and things like that as well. Because, I'm self-employed, so there's a difference there too. My sister, she's an accountant. She gets paid pretty good. My brother-in-law, he works in the aero industry, if you will. And aerospace industry. So I mean, they make good money, but there's some of the things that you do give up for some of those kinds of things out there as well. And me, I'm not. I don't know. I just like living life. But she does have a dang nice house, man. You like that, huh? Let's see. Uh, Aggressively relaxing says, "You Star Wars haters refuse to stop your war on Christmas, right?" Um, Let's see. Vlad Riot says, at Social Intro TV, oh, that's nothing, brother. Disney Star Wars fans are the new keyboard warriors. Anyone that don't like Disney Star Wars is getting hated on. Yeah, and that's ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like we can all like what we like. Not everybody has to like exactly what you like. You know what I mean? I'm okay with that. If you don't like something I like, I'm not gonna say that there's anything wrong with you. With anything wrong with you, or that you're not a fan or anything. It's stupid. It's just stupid to me that people go to these lengths to try to prove that they're a bigger fan than you are. Like, that's not what it's all about. And that's these things that kind of keeps people at odds with each other. And it's just, to me, it's ridiculous. um, Tommy says, at aggressively relaxing, I don't hate Star Wars, just Disney Star Wars. No, that's Star Wars. Disney Star Wars is Star Wars. It's just Star Wars. There's no, Disney Star Wars or this or that. It's just Star Wars. You just don't like what Disney has done with Star Wars since they took it over. Um, And again, I'm not saying you're you're done for those thoughts or anything neither, Tommy, because there's a lot of people who don't like what Disney has done with Star Wars as a franchise since they've gotten it. And and I get that, and that's kind of like what I was saying earlier, where I was on that stream on Mad Max's stream, and the guys from Echo Base Network had said that is that they're taking these movies and they have to be like these big event kind of movies, and that's not what Star Wars ever was. Star Wars was just always a fun space adventure movie, following Luke Skywalker, I guess the Skywalker lineage. And even the prequel trilogy, they weren't like these big, large, grand scale movies where, like, we see since J.J. Abrams first came out, on the sequel trilogy with the Force Awakens, is it's trying to be big, it's trying to be huge, and just do all these things. And that's not what we I won't say that's not what we need or not what we want, but that's not what Star Wars really was. It was just, like I said, just a fun space adventure movie. It doesn't have to be big and grandiose and do all these crazy things in it. Um, let's see. I probably missed something there. It says Social Introvert TV says at Vlad Riot. True. It's just annoying if you don't like it. Oh, dang it! It skipped on me again. Um, if you don't like it, that's cool. If you don't, if if you like it, that's cool. If you don't, that's cool. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's not up to any of us to decide what somebody else's fandom is. Vlad Rice says, I haven't supported Disney since 2012. I knew how bad it would get with Star Wars. People just never listened to me. Um, it's not for me. I wanted more George Star Wars. Yeah, I can deal with that. Um, Tommy says at the Disney looks at the fans and decides to steal and pilfer and destroy old canon with no Vaseline. That's funny. Um, Pope Shariva says like Ice Cube, right? Right. No Vaseline. Oh, that's funny. Um, George is the man indeed. Oh yeah, definitely. Aggressively relaxed says the Rise of Skywalker is the only good Star Wars sequel. Um, Hollywood makes one movie with a conservative message and you all lose your minds. Yeah, man. And that's the thing, and sometimes people look too far into things and try to extract stuff out of there. Like I could go out there and watch any movie and pull whatever narrative I want out of it. Like I could go watch Frozen 2 and I could tell you that Frozen 2 is all about Trump and his wall. That's what it's about. Okay, I could easily go out there and watch the movie and pull that out of there and point out to you every single thing that it has to do with that. And I easily could, but that's not what the movie is about. um and I could do that because it does have allegories to things that are going on in our real life. Allegories, they're not things that are lazily written and sloppily done. It was just a good, fun, entertaining movie for kids, you know what I mean? um Let's see. Wookiee Supremacy says, "I don't care how much money it makes. The storyline is a steaming pile of crap." Yeah, and that's fair enough. I can completely understand how you feel that way and why you feel that way, and you saying that. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, Pope Sharever says, "Oh wait, it skipped on me again." Tommy says, "Aggressively, you're cracking me up." Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, aggressively relaxing is absolutely hilarious, man. Pope Cerebus 2 says, "Frozen 2, Electric Boogaloo." Yeah, man. Um, let's see. LB says, "I'm watching on mute. Trinity Platin." Oh, okay. Yeah, that was probably when my thing fell out. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this thing. Sometimes it does that. It freezes from time to time. Um, and in case you can't tell, I'm way behind on the chat here. But anyway, guys, that's really enough about that. Because that's one of the things I'm glad about here when it comes to these when it comes to these movies and the sequel trilogy and everything. I'm glad that it's over. I've liked what we've got so far. Like I said The Last Jedi, while not a great movie, I still liked it. It's hard to watch at this point, but it certainly has its downfalls, and I'm glad that that we can move on. And something else that I wanted to talk about before we move on from this. Like I said the other day, we were talking on Mad Max's channel with Echo Base Network, where they kind of pointed that out, that they went and they tried to make these movies larger scale than they need to be. Another thing that oh man, I almost had lost my my train of thought there with that. Um, is that I'm glad these things are over, and that we're going to move on now. Something the other day, I'm not sure if you guys follow Kermit the Log here on YouTube. He's certainly not for everybody as well. But they do a show every Saturday called the Ribbit and Bigot Show. And the other day, Kermit actually said something on there that I actually agree with. We can see what he said in the stream was, you guys know, like, I'm not part of the Fandom Menace. I interact with a lot of people in the Fandom Menace. I have no problem with the Fandom Menace. I have issues with their methodology and things like that, but that's beside the point of what we're getting ready to say. And because Kermit, what he said was, he basically said, "Hail the Fandom Menace," because if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be getting some of this improved Star Wars content. And whether you like the Rise of Skywalker or not, we can see that and the Phantom Menace, while they don't want to act like it, everybody like, oh, we're not just a small sector of fans, we're not just a small, there's a whole bunch of us. Okay, when in the larger scheme of Star Wars fandom, it's nothing. Okay, the Phantom Menace is small, they're minuscule, okay, in the larger scope of it all. But the thing is what Kermit was saying was, good on the Phantom Menace, because they came out and let their voices be heard. They all came together as fans. Rather, no matter how you feel about them, whether you think they're just a bunch of haters or not, is they came out and started a fan movement, and they were loud enough that they got heard. You know what I mean? They got heard in the fact, we see that J.J. Abrams has made mention of them in some interviews, and talked about it. They created this fan movement that has gained some traction and has got the attention of Disney and things like that, and that's a good thing. And they've got the attention, and we can see that Disney has gone out there and started to course correct. They're not giving you what you want, and at this point, for so many people, they're probably not going to ever be able to give you what you want to see. But they have started to make that course correction, and started to make improvement and changes in what they're doing in their movies, and we can see that in the Rise of Skywalker. We can see that with the Mandalorian, um, and and that's the good thing. So no matter how you feel about the Phantom Menace or anything like that, and these fans that are there, all that aside, is they have one out there. They have been loud, let their voices be heard, and made a difference, and that is a good thing. We can see that Disney has started to course correct. Now, the one thing that I will say, when it comes to that, is that we still see there's plenty of people who are never going to be satisfied with it. But at some point, even some of these people in the Fandom Menace, like, it's time to lighten up. At some point, you got to lighten up a little bit. You can't keep pushing your same narrative when we're starting to get content that's good. Like, we see that Mandalorian is starting off and it's being pretty good. Not everybody's going to like it. It's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. Some people are going to just be haters no matter what, and continue to push that narrative. But at some point, you got to kind of start to back off a little bit. You got to start to back off a little bit and say, okay, we can see that you're making some course changes. You're starting to change course a little bit. You're starting to improve these things because you're actually listening to us. And you got to give them time to make those improvements, to make those changes. It's not just going to happen overnight. We see that this is the end of the sequel trilogy, and it's going to move on now. You know what I mean? It's going to move on. Um, we're going to be getting more movies in the future, in the next couple of years, and even more content going forward. We know that the Obi-Wan streaming show is getting ready to come up, and things like that. So they're making those strides to make those changes that you guys wanted, that a lot of these fans wanted. So at some point, it's going to be a point where it's time to lighten up, and give them the credit that they deserve in trying to make those changes. Just because they're not going to make all the changes that you want to see, and they certainly can't do it all at once, there's got to be a point where you finally just say, okay, they're doing it. You know what I mean? They're making these changes that we wanted to see. Our voices have been heard, and so when it comes to me, like I said, that's just where I stand with that. Is it's time to move on. It's time to move forward with those kinds of things, and is for me, I say it's time to back off a little bit. You know what I mean? It's time to back off a little bit and let Disney continue to make those course corrections in what they're doing. Um, and that's not saying that you have to like what they're doing. It's not saying that you have to accept what they're doing. But at this point, we can see that they've made the difference. Their voices have been heard. Disney is starting to course correct. So at what point will they back off? You know, at what point will they start slinging all the hate? Will they stop slinging all the hate and everything towards Disney and Star Wars and all the different fans? You know what I mean? Like you got to there has to come a point where, because they're not going to satisfy everybody. They're not out to satisfy everybody. Nobody should ever be out to satisfy anybody, because if you do that, if you try to satisfy everybody, you're going to end up unhappy yourself. You're going to end up making movies and content that are, I mean, you think it's garbage now. Imagine if they really did try to do movies that would satisfy everybody. um, it would be a lot worse than what you have right now. But that's just how I feel about it, and I think Kermit was right, like, good on the fandom menace for being out there and being that loud voice to help foster some of these changes. And I guess that's my ultimate message is to a lot of the more outspoken people there in the fandom menace who just it seems like all they want to do is continue to hate on it. Is at some point you have to accept that they're starting to make those changes, and it's not going to be overnight. You know what I mean? You don't just course correct in the snap in a snap. You know what I mean? That's just not how it works, especially when you're talking about these big franchise movies and a big company like Disney. It takes time, plus especially because we're not getting another movie for another couple of years. So there's going to be we're going to have to accept that it's going to take time for them to make all those changes. And at this point, um, and hopefully the Mandalorian and these streaming services will help do that, help pacify some of these people, and the fact like, okay, guys, like it's time to calm down. We're hearing you. We're listening. We already know that they hear. We already see they're making these course changes. And I'm not saying that people in the Phantom Menace need to stop what they're doing, need to stop, because what they've done is let the voice be heard, and get Disney to realize that it is time to make some of those changes, and hopefully for the better of fandoms. But I don't know, that's just how I feel about it. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comments below, and then we'll go ahead and get on to um some uh some comic book talk here in just a second. um let's see. um LB says, y'all still crying about Disney Star Wars? Uh, let's see. And yeah, somebody's always going to be doing it. Somebody's always got to have a narrative to push to get clicks and views, man. Um, Tommy says that lonely banter. I hate it and moved on. Exactly, and that's Tommy's a very sane, logical voice out there, and I believe him when he says that. Uh, Vlad Riot says second shoot. Marvel, I understand what you say, but as a large movie company, you should have been able to catch those errors before putting out the movie. Well, for one, like I don't think there was a big problem with The Force Awakens, but The Last Jedi, they went and they made it, and I don't think they didn't have time to course correct there, and that's really largely where a lot of this started off at. They didn't have, I mean, they put out the movie, and this movie, The Rise of Skywalker, proves that they're trying to course correct. There's only so much they can do between in the matter of when one movie comes out to the next movie. But I hear what you're saying, though. I hear what you're saying. I understand. I understand that. Social Introvert TV says, I'm trying to be patient with episode 8 of The Mandalorian. Yeah, yeah, I know what you're saying. Mandalorian, it's been a little bit up and down. It's been a little bit up and down. And yeah, I can't wait to see this last episode. But altogether, I mean, it's had its ups and downs as far as the series itself. Has. And one thing I can say is I think we're all going to be thankful that Deborah Chow is the person who's going to be directing that Obi-Wan series when it comes out, because her episodes in The Mandalorian have been phenomenal. The best ones of the series for sure. Um, let's see. Vlad Riot says, "Is The Mandalorian good compared to the Disney saga?" I've heard mixed opinions. I think it is. I think it's really great myself. The one thing I will say is, they did that Baby Yoda thing just to get all of us to be like, and pull us all in. But I've liked the Mandalorian. Of course, I'm probably the wrong person to ask, because I haven't been, like, a hater. I haven't been highly critical of the Disney Star Wars stuff that we've got. Um, like I said, I can tell you, I like The Last Jedi, but it's not a great movie, and I will never defend that movie as being good. Um, but like I said, I didn't hate it, but I really have enjoyed The Mandalorian and want to see a whole lot more of it. Um, let's see. Tommy says, at Lonely Banter, um, more worried about beating people to death with my lightsabers. Wookiee Supremacy says, you Christians accept the Book of Mormon as legit. Disney trilogy is the Bible's Book of Mormon. That's funny. Speaking of which, I want to go see that play. I want to go see that play. I see they're starting to go off and do that again. Aggressively relaxing says, "What a shill Second Street has become." You didn't already know, bro? Vladimir says, "I don't know. I'm not a Christian. I'm Viking. Nah, I'm atheist." Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Um, let's see. AFK Bard, thank you so much for being here. And I got it right this time. I think the last time I seen it, I thought it was Brad, but it's Bard. AFK Bard. Thank you so much for being here. Um, and I hear you, Vlad Riot. Like me, like, I'm not a religious person. I'm not an atheist. People have said, "Oh, you're an atheist." They've told me, like, "You're an atheist." I'm like, "No, I just don't do religion." Somebody calling me an atheist is only them trying to pull me into their whole religion game. But and again, I don't fault anybody for what their religious beliefs are. Um, Wookiee Supremacy says, "Sucking on that giant rat cheese, man." Oh man, you guys are funny. Tommy says, but if you try to not do anything that is appealing at all, then why bother? Right. Well, and they will make content that's appealing to people, but the thing is like, they can't satisfy everybody. They just got the thing that they've got to concentrate on is just making and telling a good Star Wars movie, And they kind of did that with the Rise of Skywalker, but there was just too much of a mess for them to try to fix within the confines of this movie in the first place. That's just how I feel about it. But I hear you. I definitely understand you. Vlad Riot says, at Social Introvert TV, honestly, I have no interest in watching it. Disney's Star Wars is not my Star Wars. My Star Wars includes the EU and all the stories to it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Tommy says, just like Bayformers is not Transformers. I don't care what anyone says on that. Yeah, I watched the first Transformers movie. I didn't watch any of them after that because I seen it and I was like, I know this isn't for me. And I didn't even try to watch any of them after that, and not because I hated it or anything, just because I was like, I didn't like this. I know I'm probably not going to like the rest of them, but I did watch Bumblebee, and that one was actually pretty good. Tommy said, "Oh, Social Introvert TV says, now I get what you're saying. Love the EU as well, but I can make a case for the Mandalorian. Yeah, the Mandalorian is good. I think the Mandalorian is good, and I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people have enjoyed it. I think a lot of people have enjoyed it. Vlad Riot says, if Disney has taken the time to investigate the full EU, then make movies, shows off of that, I would have been 100% on board since 2012. Yeah, and I think that's something hindsight 2020, I think they probably would have and should have, but at this point I think it's too late because I think there's people out there who love the EU and want them to do stuff with the EU and pay it its respects. But at this point those people are lost and they're gone and they don't want to see it and they wouldn't be happy with whatever, even if Disney came in and paid homage and respected the source material and did everything right with those people are already done, a lot of those people, and don't want to see it and wouldn't like it anyway. Not everybody, but I think a lot of people, that's kind of where their head's at already in the first place. Um, Tommy says it's why Hasbro hasn't started to distance themselves from it. It has failed to produce sales. Fair enough, but I will say on that, when it comes to like the toys and everything, you might not see them at the at the toy stores because I used to work in retail. A lot of those toys and everything, if they do have them, they're probably sitting in the back room because somebody's not paying attention to the back room and getting toys out where they need to be at on shelves. Believe me, I dealt with a lot of that when I worked at Walmart. That was kind of like what I was my job really was to get that stuff out on shelves. Um, AFK Bart says Star Wars is more like a genre now and less like a series of movies made by one creative mind. Right, right. And I think that's kind of something that like the guys over there at Echo Base Network had said on that stream the other day with on Mad Max's channel. Aggressively relaxing says it never mattered what Disney did. I got to I got to get these hate videos monetized, homie. Quit messing with my hustle. Oh, aggressively relaxing, dude. I love you, man. You're great. You're great. Um, let's see. Let's skip down. You guys are being very active here. Let's skip down to the bottom and see what you guys are saying. Uh, Vlad Riot says, "See, I was wondering why Mandalorian armors wouldn't change for 900 years." Okay, I probably missed something in there. Pope Cerebus the First says, "There have been thousands of gods. You could just say you believe in one less. Uh, you could believe, you could say you believe in one less than most everyone else. Monos, monotheistic comedy. It's a riot." Fair enough. Fair enough. Um, okay, where are we at here? Snow Dub's here. I must have missed him coming in. Walk video, right? Yeah, I'm here walking in. I'm in Washington, man. I'm in Washington. In Arlington, to be more specific. Yeah. So Vlad Riot says Second Street Marvel, the EU was a gold mine for Disney, pure gold mine, and they threw it away uh, like a swear word, kind of like, well, we'll take the mine, keep the gold, keep the gold, right? Yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying. Yeah, they definitely missed the boat on that. They really did. I'll admit that. I mean, they should have started that way in the first place. Um, let's see. Vlad Riot says, "Well, sorry, thinking what? Oh, I must have missed something there in the chat." But yeah, again, guys, there's always going to be mixed opinions on what Disney has done with Star Wars and everything at this point. Like I said, there's some people who are so off board they're never going to come back on board, and and that's fine. If people want to do that, I mean, that's the beauty of life is we don't all have to feel the same way about all of these different things. Snow Dove says, I used to play against Arlington in high school football. I lived in Smoky Point, just a few miles south of you. Nice, nice, cool. Yeah, yeah. My sister, they just moved here to Arlington. Like I said, about a year ago. Before that, they were. Oh man, I can't remember what the name of the. I can't remember the name of the town. Lake Stevens. They were in Lake Stevens. Yeah, because I remember I rode my bike and it was not even a mile away from Lake Stevens, and rode my bike around Lake Stevens a few times. Beautiful area, man. Beautiful area. Not for me though, because I'm from Kansas originally, but I live in Southern California. I like Southern California. The weather is great there where we live at. Everything's there. You want to go surfing, you want to go to the beach, you want to go to the city, you want to go to the mountains, you want to go do some snowboarding. It's all there. We're here. Um, No, I don't know. It's different. Not everything is here like I want. But yeah, guys, in case you guys don't know, today is Wednesday or Thursday. I guess it's Thursday. It's new comic book day. There's new comic books releasing at the comic book shops this week. Of course, it's a pretty slow week in comic books, and that's okay because the past couple of weeks at the local comic book shops have been absolutely hitting me in the nuts, man. They, yeah, been taking some hard blows, man. These past couple of weeks at the comic book shop have been heavy, very heavy. Aggressively relaxed says, all 100 of us weirdos who kept up with the EU think you people are crazy. You think Disney messed up beloved characters and let down the potential? Go check out some EU paperbacks. That's funny. Darth Wacko, what's up, my brother? How you doing? He says, yo, Second Street, Mike Zero is saying Kit Harington and Keanu Reeves is going to be in the next Star Wars trilogy. Huh. Interesting. Um, that would be very interesting because, and I guess we can't really doubt it because it's so far we've noticed that Disney hasn't really had a plan with the movies they're doing. So yeah, I mean, just go cast some, just go cast some people in a movie that you don't even have plans for. That sounds like what they've done so far. But also, from what I've heard, I don't watch Mike Zero, but I heard Mike Zero is pretty full of it. So I don't know that I would take it too much to heart. But thanks for being here, Darth Wacko. I hope you're doing good, and I hope you had a very I hope you had a very good Christmas. I hope all of you had a very good Christmas. Like I said, I'm here up in Washington with my family, having it's nice out here. It's nice. It's cold right now. We don't get this kind of cold in Southern California. Like we get cold, but it's like I'm a Southern Californian puss cold. You know what I mean? Like people who come to California and see what I call cold nowadays and be like, man, you a puss, man. Like this isn't even cold at all. This is nice weather. And it's funny because I'm sitting here walking up in here in Washington when I started this original morning movie chat here at 8 o'clock this morning, my normal time. I started and I was walking out here. The sun wasn't out, and it was like the Weather Channel was telling me it's 25 degrees out, and I'm sitting out here walking. I'm like, man, it actually feels good. This is a good 25 degrees. Oh man, that's funny. Um, Discovery Bay says Mike Zero, Mike Zeros. That's funny. Um, Kent Coastal Holiday. Hi. How are you doing, Kent? I hope you're doing well. Um, let's see. Darth Wacker says, "Yo, brother, I agree about Mike Zero." Yeah, I haven't. I've never really watched his channel. I've heard about him. From what I've heard, like he's the war stew of Star Wars news. uh, Tommy says that aggressively relaxing. I seen a lightsaber they claimed was Bane's, but had to reread the novel to reacquaint myself with the description. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, and Tommy knows his lightsabers for sure. He's done a couple of lightsaber videos out there. You guys should go check him out. Snowdub Music and Entertainment says, "LOL, just for fun, ask a few people up there if they have ever heard of Snowdub. Go Hawks! I bet you run into at least one person that's heard of me. I will. I'm gonna ask around. I'm gonna ask around." But yeah, like when I watched football, when I was still watching football, I was a Bears fan, and you know that, I was a Bears fan. My brother-in-law, he's a huge Bears fan as well. But yeah, I was gonna say if we happen to come across anybody here out, I'll ask them if they've heard of Snow Dub. I'll ask them what they think of your snowballs hanging low, man. The social introvert TV says, I finally watched Star Wars: The Holiday Special. You know what? I haven't seen that since I was a kid. I know I watched that when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it since then. And seeing how 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 entertaining entertaining it is. Um, yeah, but yeah, guys, like I was saying, it's a new comic book day. It got delayed by a day because of Christmas. Can you believe that? These comic book shops closed on Christmas? Man, what kind of comic shop? Man. No, that's all good. But yeah, guys, I hope you all had a very good Christmas. Comic book. The comic book G Spot Galvin. What's up, my brother? He says, uh, uh, love the live walk. How are you doing, brother? Hope your holiday was good. It was good. Yeah, and thanks, man. I figured, I didn't want to. They're watching Top Gun at my sister's house right now. So I figured instead of sitting here flapping my gums, hanging out with you guys, making a bunch of noise there, so my wife could not enjoy. So my wife could enjoy, I guess. Uh, Top Gun for the first time. She's never watched Top Gun. Can you believe that? My wife has never seen Top Gun, but she's Japanese. You know what I mean? So that's that's her excuse. Yeah, I'm being racist. I'm being racist. They don't care about that stuff. Um, but yeah, so she's there watching Top Gun with them and checking it out for the first time. Um, Darth Wookiee Supremacy says they were cooked out of their heads in the holiday special. Yeah, I bet they were. That's what I've heard. Like I said, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, when that came out, it would have been something that was enjoyable. You know what I mean? We're like little kids. Oh, Ewoks. You know what I'm saying? So that would have been cool. And speaking of which, it was kind of cool seeing those Ewoks there in Rise of Skywalker. Again, I think that's a lot of people have talked about the fan service in the movie. I never really seen a whole lot of fan service in Rise of Skywalker, but I think that's definitely one of those moments in the movie that I would consider a more fan servicey kind of moment, uh, showing the Ewoks out there. Something out there, to kind of get fans of the old Star Wars. Like, oh, cool, look, Ewoks. And we all kind of know how the Ewoks were in those original movies in the first place. But yeah, guys, I hope you're all having a good day. I hope you guys have a great rest of your days heading here into the new year. Something I was talking about earlier, like I said, I started this stream earlier and I was talking to myself because for whatever reason, the Streamlabs app doesn't always work 100%. But do you guys have any goals for 2019? New Year's resolutions? For me, I think New Year's resolutions are ridiculous. I don't do New Year's resolutions, but there are some new goals that I want to have that I have set out before me here for this new year. In case you guys don't know, I'm really into health and fitness. I'm a cyclist, and over this last year, becoming a comic book or a content creator here on YouTube, especially here towards the last half of the year. I really started to make a push to grow this channel and get to 1,000 subscribers, get monetized, and all of that stuff. I really made that push, and I kind of backed away from writing so much on my regular writing schedule. But that's something else, you guys. I have like two other channels here on YouTube. One of them is called The Peanut Peddler. That's one for my business that I run. And then I have another one called The Peddling Pugilist, where I started to upload some videos and didn't get a whole lot done there. And but goals are a good thing to have in life. And I like seeing success stories, and I want to be successful, and I want to help people find success in their lives. I think the more success that the more of us find, the better it is for the world. And that's something that I want to put in kind of my goals here over this next year. In is in some of that with some of my content. um, I want to help you guys achieve whatever goals you may have. Like I said, I've found things that work for me. There's no cut template that works for everybody. If there's anything you guys ever have any questions over, please let me know. So I want to document some of those things probably over on my channel over on the Peddling Pugilist, as I kind of ride myself back into ride my fitness back, I guess you could say. Um, but when it comes to these things, you got to have goals, and you got to have a roadmap to reach those goals. You can't just set a goal and say, here's my goal, and not know what to do to get there. You gotta have a plan. And that's something that I've been doing this thing. Been a cyclist for long enough. I've been kind of looked into like health and things like that, and diets and things like that, to kind of know what works for me, because no one thing works for everybody out there. But if you have any of those goals and you want me to talk about them, please let me know what they are. I would love to help you guys out. There's a couple of my favorite channels here on YouTube are Impact Theory. I'm not sure if you guys have ever heard of them, but you can find the channel here on YouTube. It's under Tom Bilyeu. He's the co-founder of Impact Theory. He does these videos on Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Tuesdays, I believe it's just Impact Theory is what he calls it, and he talks to people who have been successful in business and in life, in different industries. And you can, through the course of it, you can kind of see that all these people have the same things in common. And then on Thursdays, he does one that's called, I think he calls it Health Theory, where he talks to people in the health industry, be it like be it just like eating, like eating health, dietary needs, and then other people like in the aspects of like sports science, nutrition, and things like that. He talks to those people and does really good videos. And there's some of my videos that I like watching, but uh, another one of my favorite channels here on YouTube is called High Intensity Health. Mike Mutzel, he actually lives somewhere here in the Seattle area, but he does these really good chats where he sits down and he talks to these doctors and everything, and they drop just these golden nuggets of things that can help you improve your life. And these are things that I would like to help you guys with as well. Like since I've been here on YouTube, I've gained somewhat of a following here. I've found some sort of, I guess, small measurable measure of success here, and that's what I want to continue to do. But I want to help you guys succeed as well. So if there's any questions that you guys have out there, I would love to help you guys with those. Make sure, if there's anything that you want specifically that I'm not answering on videos, make sure you reach out to me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at the Second Street Marvel so I can help you guys with those. Because while I don't have all the answers and everything that will help you specifically, I do believe there is a template of things that you can follow to help make you be successful. Whether you're wanting better health, you're wanting to eat better, you're wanting to start working out, and get and be more physically active and things like that. There are still certain things that you have to do in order to be successful in those kinds of things. And I think for the most part, I know a lot of the general things that can help you in those areas. And I want to do see what I can do to help you guys improve yourselves and have a better quality of life as well. So and like I was saying, I've never really been one of those people that writes down goals and things like that. I've always, once I get something in my head, I just go after it, and I do everything I can to get there and be successful. You know what I mean? I seek out the information and things like that. And so, there's so many avenues out there. It's always hard to say what is going to work for you and who you need to go to. But I guess I've gathered some. Some resources out there that I think are good resources. And if you guys would like me to share those with you, have questions, please let me know. I'd love to help you guys with any of that stuff. Um, let's see. So yeah, that's one of my goals. Is I'm gonna actually write down some goals of things that I want to do this year to improve on. So let's see. Discovery Bay says, I do have some questions for you, Trinity. I would love to hear your opinion of my YouTube 2020 plan. Yeah, man. Let's get at me and let's talk about it, man. Let's see what we can do. Um, as far as some of those things, let's and that's the other thing about goals. You get your goals, talk about them with somebody, because maybe other people have outlooks and things that we haven't thought of, and things that could definitely help us. Because there's one thing I've felt for a long time is, I think anybody can be successful, and I think when it comes to those kinds of things, there's really only a certain combination of words that you need to say to somebody to get something to click into their head to make them find success, to be motivated in finding it too. So something I definitely look forward to helping you guys with. If you guys think I'm somebody that might be able to help you, I would love to help you out. Wookiee Supremacy says, "How come everybody loses their minds every time you inevitably kill a hooker?" I don't know, man. I don't know. Comic book G Spot Galvin says, "I like it. Awesome, man. Thank you, thank you." Wookiee Supremacy says, "Asking for a friend." Awesome. Well, anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day here. Well, or call it a stream here. But thank you guys so much for being here, watching me flap my gums. I appreciate any of you guys being here anytime that I'm here flapping my gums. And like I said, if there's anything that you guys want help with, please let me know. I would be more than happy to help you guys reach your goals, no matter what they are. Whether you want to have a better quality of life, whether you want somebody else to shoot ideas back and forth with on things we can do on our YouTube channels and things like that. I would love to be of service and help you guys in any way I can. But guys, that's all I have for today's stream. Thank you all so much for tuning in here once again to the Second Street Marvel. I hope you all have a very good day. Have a great rest of your week. Have a happy New Year. My birthday is getting ready to come up here in a couple of days. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's getting ready to come up here in a couple of days. And after that, I'm getting ready to go out there and start my goals, and I'm going to hit them here in this next year. We're going to take this shit to the next level. You all have a very good day, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.